everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our graduate open house webinar. We are thrilled that you are with us this evening. I'm assuming you all have had a very long Monday, so I just like to let you know these webinars take about 20 minutes. We try to be very efficient with our time and sort of move through what we think is the important information. And then you will have the opportunity. I'm going to share my contact information at the end of this webinar. And if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email me. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you have. So, with that said, let me introduce myself. My name is Sheila Gold. I'm the Assistant Dean of Recruitment and Admissions for Tulane School of Professional Advancement, and I will be talking you through the slides today. I'm joined by my colleague Ann Conlon, who is behind the scenes making the magic happen. Also, if you have a question that you want to put in the chat, Ann will be monitoring those questions as well. Okay, so a little bit about the School of Professional Advancement. Tulane University is made up of 10 smaller schools, one of which is the School of Professional Advancement. We are actually the third oldest school at the university. It was founded as a medical school of Louisiana. Shortly thereafter, the law school was founded, and then after that, the very first iteration of what we now call the School of Professional Advancement was founded. And we have always had the mission of opening up a Tulane education to non-traditional students and working adults. So essentially, any student is non-traditional in our opinion if you are other than that 18-year-old student who just graduated from high school and is going straight into college to get a degree. So if you're a working adult, if you're a degree changer, if you've had a career for a while but you want to go back and get additional education, if you are looking to take your classes part-time or online, then the School of Professional Advancement is for you. So we're excited to tell you about our graduate programs that we offer. So we are located on the Uptown campus, on Tulane's main campus in Uptown New Orleans. We are in the Richardson building. That is our building right there, that orange building. We occupy the whole second floor. So that's where you'll find our administration, many of our advisors, and our faculty members. We also have a student lounge where we love students who are on campus to come and hang out. The mural on the wall that says "Where You Belong" was actually designed by some of our digital media and design students. That was a class project. We loved it so much that we actually commissioned them to paint it on the wall. We've actually made cups with that same logo. We absolutely love it. We think it's gorgeous work, and it also sums up how we feel about our students. You absolutely belong at SoPA, and we love having you there. So, from time to time, we get asked from students, they're like, School of Professional Advancement, is that like real Tulane? Absolutely. Like I said, you are one of the 10 schools that make up the whole university. When you graduate, this is what your diploma will look like. It will say Tulane University, School of Professional Advancement. It will have your name. It will have the degree that you earned. It will have the seal of the university, the signature of the university president, and the president of the board. This is what it's all about. So tonight starts your journey towards getting that diploma on your wall. So just remember Tulane programs with Tulane faculty, and you get a Tulane degree. All right, so a little bit about what we'll discuss over the next 15 minutes or so are our graduate programs, a little bit about how we differentiate our learning experience from maybe other experiences that you have had. We talk about how we support students so that you're successful and that you get that diploma that we just showed you. And then we'll talk a little bit about the application process and tuition. So, one of the things that we think distinguishes our school from other schools that you may be looking at is that all of our faculty are what we call professors of practice. And that means that they are all professionals, either currently or previously in the fields that they teach. So, you are actually learning from professional practitioners who can give you the skills that the workforce is looking at today as the skills that they want when you go and get hired when you get your degree. So, for instance, Ashley Hand is the director of strategic communications in Kansas City. She teaches in our MPA program. So, when you're talking about public affairs or strategic communications, Ashley Hand does the work and then she teaches our classes. So, you will learn from somebody who actually does the work the skills that you need to get hired. Derek Bose is the former Chief Administrative Officer for the Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority. He teaches in our emergency management program. So if you need to learn from somebody about how to handle an emergency like a flood, you're going to learn from somebody like Derek who does this work professionally. He just happens to teach some classes for us so that he can train the next generation of professionals like you who will then go out in the field and do the job. Same thing with our kinesiology professor, Tyra Mitchell. She has her doctorate in physical therapy, and she's the former chief physical therapist at Ochsner. And then Ralph Russo is the director of our IT and cyber programs. He's a former NYPD officer, and he helped set up the counterintelligence unit and cyber unit after 9/11 in New York. So once again, who best to learn from than somebody who actually is doing or has done the actual work that you want to do? So here's a quote from one of our current professors, Amanda Fennell. She teaches in our cyber and IT program, but she says it very well. As a cybersecurity leader, I feel it's vital to prepare our professionals, that would be you all the students, through practical experience, which is why I incorporate my day job into my classes at night. And that's the perfect way to think about it. So many of our professors do the work during the day, but then they teach a class or two because they enjoy training the next generation of professionals in the field that they love so much. And so you all get to benefit from that knowledge. So, there are two main ways that you can reach your career goals at the graduate level. For those of you who are interested in getting a full master's degree, we offer those. And then for those of you who are like, I want to go back to school, but I don't have the time to do a full master's, I'd like to get a graduate certificate in a very specific area. We have those as well. So I'll share with you what those are so that it will help you make a decision. So the master's degrees we offer are cybersecurity management, emergency management, homeland security studies, IT, information technology management, sports studies, liberal arts, public administration, a Master of Art in Teaching, which is for students who want to be classroom teachers. And then if you're interested in being a educational administrator, we offer four different masters in education, one with a focus on educational leadership, one in learning experience and design, one in special ed, and one in teaching English learners. We also offer certificates, which I will share with you in a minute. But what's important to understand is that certificates are about four courses. They're in a very narrow area of each of the areas that we offer a master's degree in. But if you don't want to do the full master's, you could get very specific knowledge in certain areas. The good thing about our certificates is that you can get the certificate in four courses and tap out and say, I got the information I needed. This is going to help me once I put it on my resume to get a better job. Or if you're like, I really am enjoying these courses, I want to keep going, it stacks into our master's degrees. So one certificate is about a third of a master's degree. And so you're already a third of the way through. So you only have about 6 to 8 additional classes before you earn your master's degree. So it gives you some flexibility to start with a certificate and stop there, or you can continue to go and you've already made some pretty significant progress towards a master's. So I'm not going to read all of these to you, but you can see that we have certificates in every area that we offer a master's degree. And if you're interested in a specific knowledge area like economic development or cyber technology fundamentals or just a special education certificate or open source intelligence, you can come and take 4 classes and get pretty deep knowledge in that narrow area of expertise. All right. So we also think that our learning experience might be a little bit different from other programs that you have maybe studied in or looking at. So all of our graduate programs are online programs, but our faculty work very hard to make sure that the learning experience is engaging, that you get to know your faculty members, that you get to know other students in the class. You will have group work that you'll need to do. Even though much of the coursework is online, the projects might be group work and interactive. And our faculty also work very hard to create engaging assignments so that you feel like you are really having the ability to engage with the curriculum in a deeper way that's beyond reading a chapter in a book or just answering a discussion board. So, for instance, 2 different ways that we do that is many of our professors have created like weekly assignments that are in the metaverse. So you will be given a virtual problem to solve, and that's supposed to be the metaverse, the top picture. A virtual problem to solve that week as your homework, and you will need to enter the metaverse, create an avatar for yourself, and go through a series of problem solving questions and challenges, come up with an end result to solve the problem, and you submit that as your homework for either the module or the week or the month or however long the assignment is. So it's very engaging, it's very interactive, and it also simulates real world experience. So it may be very similar to the type of problem that you might be asked to solve in the workforce. Another way that our faculty offer curriculum that might be a little bit different and more engaging than what you're used to is they will record some of their lectures as a podcast. So you can actually listen to 15 minutes of the podcast, on your way to work, 15 minutes on your way back from work. You can listen to another 20 minutes while you're cooking dinner. And that way you're not sitting in front of a textbook or reading articles. It's just a different way to engage and kind of break up the coursework that our students really appreciate, that's different from what they've been used to in a little bit more traditional curriculum. All right. So we at SoPA also like to let students know that we are very deeply committed to helping you be successful. So we're not just interested in you getting admitted to the university. We want to see you get that diploma that we showed at the beginning of the webinar. So we wrap you in a lot of support so that you don't feel like you have to be alone going back to school, and that you also can feel like you have people to lean on that are invested in your success. So every student has a dedicated academic advisor. This is an advisor who can help you pick your classes, decide what sequence the classes go in. They might talk to you if you should take 2 classes a semester or 1 class a semester. They'll help you figure out when graduation will be, depending on how quickly and how many classes you take. If you need to take a semester off, they can help you with that. So you don't have to feel like you have to navigate all of that alone. You also have a faculty advisor. And remember, all of our faculty work in the industry that you're studying. So if you're interested in Homeland Security, all of our faculty work in Homeland Security in that program. So there's somebody who you can look at as a little bit of a professional mentor. You can talk to about the curriculum, and if there's a class that you really really love, you can say, I didn't realize I was going to like that as much, but I may want to change my ideas of like where I can use this knowledge, and where do you think I should apply for a job if I really like this. And they can help you figure that out. They can also use their professional networks to open doors for our students, which they do all the time. We also have our own career advisor that is just for the School of Professional Advancement. We do not share her with any part of the university other than our students. So you can use her to help put your resume together, your LinkedIn page. She will help you do practice interviews. If you have a job interview and you're a little nervous about it and you want to practice with somebody, she'll help you with that. She also gets lots of job postings before they go on national job boards like Indeed. So a lot of industries love our students. They want our students to kind of have priority in their job search. So they will send a job posting to us a day or two before it goes live nationally. And she'll send an email out to our students and say, if anybody's looking for a job, submit your resume. So that's a great way for our students to have a little bit of an advantage in the workplace. All right. Some other things that we do to support adult learners is we know that many of our students have been working professionally for years. And so oftentimes you come with a lot of experience back to school. You have a lot of knowledge, some of which might be redundant. So if you have to take a class for your master's degree and you feel like it's something that you already know how to do, like grant writing, for instance, you don't need to take a grant writing class. Maybe you've been grant writing for the last 10 or 15 years. You can go to your advisor and you can work with them to put together a portfolio that demonstrates that you already have the knowledge that meets the objectives in the syllabus for that class, and you can get credit for that class. You can do that up to 2 classes at the graduate level, and that's almost a savings of $8,000. And it also will save you, that's probably a semester faster towards your degree completion. All right, so a little bit about tuition and affordability. The next semester that we're enrolling for is the spring semester, which is a January start. The tuition per course at SoPA is $3,924. That is for most of our programs. However, our Master of Art in Teaching and then our 2 graduate certificates in teaching English learners and special education are actually less. They are at the undergraduate rate of $2,022. Now, something to keep in mind is we keep our fees very low. So we cap our fees at about $150 a semester. So you do not have to pay a tremendous amount more over and above tuition. Keep that in mind as you're sort of doing your comparison shopping at other schools. Always ask about fees because oftentimes you'll hear the tuition rate, but if they don't talk about fees, sometimes fees can almost double the tuition rate. We do not do that at SoPA. We also offer other little ways to chip away at the bottom line. If you transfer any credits, you'll get a 1,500 transfer scholarship. If you register for classes by our early registration date your first semester, you'll get $500 off your first semester tuition. And then we also offer several different 20% tuition discounts to active duty military and veterans. If you're an alum of Tulane, if you already have a degree from Tulane, if you are active or retired federal, state, or local law enforcement, a first responder, for instance, if you're a member of the PTK Honor Society, and you would know if you were a member, if you are a Louisiana state government employee, or if you are a member of one of our professional partnership agencies. And that's a pretty long list, so you can go on our website and look at those partnership agencies. So hopefully all of you fall into one of those categories so that you'll get a 20% discount. All right, so our application, the most important next step for you all is to fill out your application. Our application lives on our website. Go to sopa.tulane.edu. There's a big button at the top that says apply. Click that button. Pick the graduate application and it will open up to you. There are several pieces of information we need you to send us to complete your application. We will need transcripts from any school that you've received college credit, both undergraduate and graduate. We do not require the GRE or any standardized tests, so that's usually good news to people. At the graduate level, there will be two short answer questions to writing samples that you'll need to submit, and you'll need to upload your resume. And lastly, you will need to submit a picture of a current government ID. So for most people, you can just take your phone, take a picture of your driver's license or your passport, and just upload that image. The last thing is that our application fee at the graduate level is $50, but as a thank you for attending our webinar, you do not have to pay that. So if you haven't applied yet, go ahead and apply. You should not get asked for an application fee. If you do, email me and I will make sure to waive it. If any of you on this webinar have already applied and paid that $50, please email me and I'm happy to refund that $50 because we do appreciate you sort of giving up your time at the end of a long Monday. So that's our application information. And then the very last bit of information we're going to share with you is our application deadlines. Our application process is rolling. So that means as you apply and finish your application and complete it, we'll go ahead and review it and give you an admissions decision. So most people are applying for the spring semester right now, so you can go ahead and get that application in. The deadline is not until January 1, but you do not have to wait that long. You can apply now. We can get you an admission decision in the next week or two, and then if you register for classes by December 1st, which is plenty of time, you'll receive a $500 discount off your first semester tuition. Same thing goes for summer. If you want to apply for summer, even though the application deadline isn't until May, you can apply now. We can give you an admissions decision in the next couple weeks. And if you register for classes before April 25th, you will get $500 off your first semester. And then if you're a really big planner and you're already applying for fall, that application deadline isn't until August 1st, but you can go ahead and apply now, get your admissions decision, and if you register for classes before July 15th, you'll get the $500 early enrollment. So there's really no reason not to. It's our way of saying thank you for registering, kind of doing everything a little bit early, and we want to make your first semester as easy as possible. So we want to take a little bit of the financial burden off. So that is really the bulk of our information tonight. My contact information is on the screen, sgold@tulane.edu. There's a phone number, but I'm much easier to reach by email. So go ahead and email me. Tomorrow, you're going to receive an email thanking you for coming to this webinar. It will also have my contact information in it as a reminder. Then it will have a video of this webinar. So if you want to replay it or if you've forgotten some of the degrees that we offer, go ahead and rewatch it. Or if you have a friend or family member that couldn't be here tonight, feel free to forward it to anybody who might be interested. So, with that said, I very much appreciate you all being here tonight. And if you have any questions, please reach out and send me an email. And I certainly hope that we will be getting an application from each one of you. So, thank you very much. I hope you all have a great night. And we hope to be welcoming you to SoPA soon. Bye, everyone.